So I want to talk about beliefs, because they drive everything we do in life. A university not too long ago had a hypnotist come do a show, and he's a very serious hypnotist, does clinical hypnotherapy, but that doesn't pay super well, so he also does the comedy show hypnotist groups. How many of you guys have been to one of those shows, right? They're pretty funny. They're quite amazing. You can't help but watch these shows and think, fake, phony, that's not real. But when you learn more about it, you understand that they're very skilled at helping people get to different levels of the brain's consciousness, and they deal with people on strictly a subconscious level where there's no rational thought, right? We don't process information on a subconscious level. We just store data. We process things on a conscious level. So if you can put a thought into the subconscious mind, the conscious mind can't argue with it. So the way they get people to misbehave, as it were, on stage is they give suggestions on a subconscious level without permission of their conscious mind. This particular hypnotist got up and picked a whole bunch of people, hypnotized them, handpicked the ones most out of it, right? Sent the rest back to the stage. He told one person while they're under hypnosis, careful when you sit down the edge of the stage, it's covered in super glue. If you sit down, you're not going to be able to get back up. He tells another person, that bottle of water over there on the stand weighs 500 pounds. And then he tells another lady, one of the professors at the university, very prim, proper lady, he says, by the way, when you hear me say the word sunrise, you're going to stand on your chair wherever you are and crow like a rooster. Now, this lady, if she was dealing on a conscious level, would say, I would never. And she would never, by the looks of her dress and attitude. But on a subconscious level, she just sat there, blank stare, and accepted this suggestion. Well, then he goes on with the show, everybody please sit down on the edge of the stage. And he says, oh, except you. And he picks intentionally the strongest guy, and he says, hey, I'm kind of thirsty. Now, by the way, I have to stop for just a second. He brought them out of hypnosis, right? He gave them all the suggestions, and he said, on the count of 3, you're all going to be awake, completely alert, completely aware. You'll be yourself, but you will not remember anything I've told you. However, it will remain true. So that was the last suggestion he gave me. It's 3, 2, 1, right awake. They're all awake. They don't even know they've been hypnotized. They're thinking to themselves, I knew he couldn't hypnotize me, right? They have no idea. They're halfway through the show. Go sit on the edge of the stage. He sits on the edge of the stage. He tells the lady that was all dressed, the professor, please go take your seat, ma'am. And she's thinking, that's right, he couldn't hypnotize me. I'll go sit down. And then he takes the biggest, strongest guy out of the whole batch. He says, sir, I'm kind of thirsty. Could you get me that glass of water over there? I need a drink. Now, he had told that guy the glass of water weighed 500 pounds. Right? And so he walks over to grab the glass of water, now dealing on a conscious level, now completely aware, completely alert, completely himself, reaches down to grab the water to hand it to the host of the show, right? And what happened? This is where you get feedback. What happened? He couldn't pick it up. So he reaches down, he picks it up, and now the conscious mind is faced with the reality that it can't pick up a glass of water, and the whole audience is laughing at him, and he has no idea why. He's so confused. Now, it's important to understand, and very important to understand with ADHD, our minds must make sense of things it doesn't understand. It's human nature. And I would argue in ADHD personalities, it's more so than ever. We have to understand things. Our curiosity will kill us. We need to know, what's that? What's that? How does it work? Why does it work? How come it's doing what it's doing? And I think it's innate in all of us, but particularly ADHDers. And now he's on a conscious mind. He can't lift up the glass of water. Everybody's laughing at him. He's a big, strong, buff guy. And the hypnotist says, what's wrong? Can't you lift up the glass of water? He goes, no, it's bolted down or something, right? Because that's what we have to do. And the hypnotist says, no, it's not bolted down. And he goes, it's a trick. You've attached it to the table. And so the hypnotist goes over now, picks up the glass of water and says, let me see. And he picks up. Now what happens to the big, strong man? Takes a drink. Thank you. Wish you were strong enough to pick that up for me. I was really thirsty. And this guy's now seen somebody do it, right? He's completely baffled. And the hypnotist says, look, why don't you go back and pick up that glass of water one more time? And so he wanders back over the second time. Now he's just seen someone else do it. And he tries to pick it up. What do you think happens? I got mixed messages. Can't pick it up, can pick it up. He tries the second time and he still can't pick it up. He just saw someone do it. How many of us have felt that? What he must have been feeling right then. Almost everybody's hands went up and everybody else nodded. Someone else just, why is he so successful? Why is she so talented? How come I can't do that? And because our minds must make sense of those things we don't understand, we start to adopt beliefs about ourselves that may or may not be true. Like maybe we're not strong enough. Maybe we're not smart enough. Maybe we don't have whatever it is that it takes. The challenge is when those beliefs get into place, they can haunt us in a really, really big way and for the rest of our lives. Now at this point, and this is probably the most interesting thing about this hypnotist show, they were doing it 3 nights in a row at the university. Same show every night, or same kind of gags, different audience and participants. And the scientists wanted to understand, is he really trying? Because when they tried to pick up the glass, it looks like they're trying. So they said, one more time, we're going to bring the scientists out, last day of the show, and see if he's trying. They hooked up electrodes to his biceps so they could measure if he's actually contracting, right, which is what we'd use to lift. And when they measured and said on this last night with the last big strong guy, try to lift, now the poor guy, think of the embarrassment. Can't lift it, he just did, and everyone's laughing at him, wires sticking out of his arm, so confused, right? And he goes to pick it up, and the equipment measures a strong contraction on the biceps. In fact, based on his size, weight, and the level of contraction, they're estimating in excess of 100 foot-pounds of upward thrust. What should that do to a 5-ounce glass of water? Right through the roof, across the room, into the hypnotist's face for embarrassing him, anywhere but there on the table. So what's happening? Because as far as I know, it's not magic, right? There's not this mystical, magical power of the mind that's pushing down when his arm's contracting. There's a scientific explanation. What's happening? Mind over matter? Help me out. If this muscle is contracting, go ahead. Yes. So if you didn't hear that, they then hooked up to his triceps and his stomach muscles. And for every bit of effort to lift the glass, it was equal to and graded by pressure pushing down from both here and here. Lift harder. Gah! Sweat coming off his face, trying so stinking hard and can't do it. Because in his subconscious was this crazy idea that it weighed 500 pounds. And he can't lift 500 pounds like that. So, here's the question, or the comment I want to post up here. And if I can get someone from IT, if anyone has an iPad charger, they can plug into the side of this. We won't have to deal with that turning off. This is the comment I want to make, and then we're going to go on with this and understand how important this is when we're talking about the death of our potential superheroes. True or false? Now, in this case, I'll read the whole thing and we'll come back. True or false, known or unknown, we will always act consistent with our beliefs. In this case, was it true or false? Did the glass weigh 500 pounds? False. Was it a known or unknown belief to him? Unknown. How scary is that? True or false, known or unknown, we will always act in a manner consistent with our beliefs. They are the laws that govern our behavior. So we have to ask ourselves, what beliefs have we adopted about ourselves that are holding us back? By the way, the guy that sat on the edge of the stage, he was called up. He was super glued butt to the stage, couldn't get up, really funny. The poor lady was up in the crowd, and he says, but you know, the other day around sunrise, she stood up on a chair in her heels and crowed like a rooster. Everybody with their phones, right? But I want to bring up a hope quote that's one of my favorites. Now, I like to challenge everything, and I mean everything. And hope quotes are tough for me to challenge, but I have to challenge them because you know what hope quotes are, right? The cat poster, right? The thing on the office wall, and I have to challenge them because I want to know, is that really true or not? So I'm going to put up a hope quote here and I'm going to challenge it. You can accomplish anything you want to if you believe you can. True or false? True, 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 false, true. I don't know, Mark, you're tricky. Okay, did he believe on a conscious level he could lift a glass of water? Absolutely. Not only did he believe it, he knew it. 64 ounces every day. On the way to work, no problem. He's done it before. Until the belief was there. This is not true, folks. It's almost true, so don't hate me for saying it, right? It's almost true. But the almost truths are the ones that kill us in life because we adopt it and we believe it and we miss the point. This isn't a true statement. We can't accomplish anything we want to because we believe we can because there's laws. Wright brothers couldn't fly just because they believed they could. There's the law of gravity. They had to learn how to work with the laws around them. Challenge is beliefs are laws too. Now I'm going to try to give you your hope quote back, but you're going to have to write it down different because I've made it true and it's going to sound a little weird, but it's more true than this one will ever be. Pause for effect. You can accomplish anything you want to only if you don't believe you can't. I know there's double negatives there. Don't correct my English. It's still accurate. You can accomplish anything you want to only if you don't believe you can't. And guys, I don't know why it is that the I can't is stronger than the I can. But it is. The I can't do it is far more damning in someone's progression than the I can.